Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're waiting for that divine wind to crash against the sides of the walls of Arena as DauT, playing as the red Mongols, prepares to take on Sitaux, playing as the blue Japanese. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate enclosed off areas and try to go up to Feudal and possibly Castle as fast as possible, let's take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Mongols are an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units do come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their light cav, their hussars, and their steppe lancers all come with extra HP. And their unique unit, the mYi.Sitaux, man, is it a fast-firing, quick cavalry archer unit with an attack bonus against siege units. Now, on the field of battle, to keep up with this incredibly fast army, the Mongols can upgrade all of their siege units to move 50% faster. If you've never seen that in action, highly recommend you get that drill upgrade. Makes the majority of their siege units look like bumper cars, which makes the game super fun to play. And as a caster, FYI, super fun to watch. Now, to help support their military endeavors out on the map, Mongol hunters do work 40% faster, and their houses can actually be upgraded so that they don't lose population space if they get destroyed. Now, Sitaux, playing as the blue Japanese, one of the OG quintessential infantry civilizations in the game. The Japanese do have access to all infantry units with all barracks and blacksmith upgrades. Their infantry units starting in the Feudal Age do attack 33% faster, which is a huge boost to their unique unit, the Samurai. This is a medium infantry unit with a lightning fast attack and an attack bonus against, you guessed it, other unique units. Now, on the field of battle, to support their infantry, the Japanese can upgrade their trebs to fire to pack and unpack 4 times faster and to fire 33% faster, and their towers can be upgraded to get extra arrows. Now, to help save the resources you need to pay for your military endeavors out on the map, the Japanese mills, lumber camps, and mining camps all cost 50% less, meaning they are buy one, get one free, essentially. Those are the two civilizations, one of the classic matchups of the original Age of Kings game, the quintessential cavalry civilization taking on the quintessential infantry civilization, both of them with lightning fast unique units, one with a bow and arrow on the back of a horse, very beautiful, very aesthetically pleasing unit, one with a giant katana that they check once they don't engage in any kind of combat. They always whip that katana out to check to make sure that it is sharp so that they can kill their enemy as fast as possible. Two very good players. So all of that is to say that I am pretty damn excited for this game. Let's take a look at the base to see if anyone's resources are exposed. Now, enclosed maps like Arena, the location of resources is less important, with the exception of one note. You do not want your primary resources, or any resources to be honest, to be right next to the gates, right next to the walls, right in the proximity that can be attacked by siege weapons, by archer units, etc. So the gold for our blue Japanese, nice and secure in the back, nice and secure in the front, but pretty far back from the walls. Primary gold for our Mongol similarly placed. Now, another thing you'll notice about Arena, always a pile of stone, always a pile of gold right outside the perimeter of your base that you might want to think about. Oh, nice little Tetris piece over here, or a lightning bolt if you're a Harry Potter fan. But that is generally the way the map works. And then there's relics, there's contested resources. Both players sitting on 1920 villagers should be able to go up to Feudal fairly shortly. Now, why do I say go up to Feudal, since none of the players are, especially DauT? Take a look, 700 food. Why isn't he going up to Feudal, you might ask yourself. Generally, the meta of an enclosed map like Arena, and I'm going to zoom out so we can see the center portion of the map a little bit. You see the relics? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in a bit of a W shape. Generally, enclosed maps like this follow a 3-stage meta. The first stage, the players rush their butts up to Castle. Then, once they hit Castle, the monks and the monasteries get built, trained, and start roaming the map looking for these guys, the relics. And then once all 5 relics are collected, we enter stage 3, which is my personal favorite. The one where the players build big armies and then just try to bash each other's skulls in. Of course, electronically, not in real life. I think these guys are friends in real life, if I had to guess. After how many years of playing, I imagine they probably don't want to bash each other's skulls in. Anyway, I'm going to stop getting real morbid. But in any event, stage 2 is actually pretty damn exciting. Stage 1 is, you know, the usual opening map. They usually finish their barracks right as they hit, or rather not finish their barracks, but they usually finish some kind of structure right as they hit feudal, so that when they hit feudal, they can immediately plop down, you know, if they want a more of an economic play, the blacksmith market. If they want more of a military play, a stable and a blacksmith. Generally, though, you see stables because as the stage 2 develops and the relics get fought over, you best believe in the normal course of a game on an enclosed map like this, they don't just send out monks. They send out lots and lots of scouts, because scouts, the natural predator of the monk. Take a look at the attack bonus here, +6. That jumps up once that scout gets upgraded to light cav, although that's where there's a bit of divergence in gameplay. Not everyone gets light cav. Not everyone invests the resources. Neither of these players is playing the Turks, which would automatically turn their scout cav into light cav. That being said, both of them are in feudal. Take a look at the resources, like I mentioned. 800 food, 250 gold for DauT, 800 food, 200 gold for Sitaux, although he just spent a bit of food researching double bit axe and training another villager. So as you can see, the second they hit feudal, structures go down. Market, stable for our Mongol, stable, blacksmith for our Japanese. And as you can see now, take a look, both players are now heading up to Castle Age. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys were able to hear. There was a van of some kind backing up right underneath my window. If you join us on our live streams, which should be back in earnest now that you know, I'm back to live streaming a bit more regularly, you will know that there are a lot of idiots in my building, a lot of idiots in the parking lot underneath my apartment that do wheelies and donuts and stupid things with their cars that sometimes make their way into the acoustics of the game. In any event, as I was mentioning, let's get back into the game itself. I'm going to stop letting these stupid cars bother me. More and more scouts coming out for our Mongol, more and more scouts coming out for our Japanese. I love that the players are starting to mix in spearmen, because when you send out a monk, your opponent is going to send out scouts. And when your opponent sends out scouts, not a bad idea to have a few spearmen lying around to be able to snipe the unit that is sent out to snipe your unit. You know, what's the expression? Qui custodio de ipsos custodes? Qui snipe todes ipsos snipe. Yeah, I'm going to stop trying to be clever. You guys know what I mean. They're trying to snipe your unit, so you snipe their unit. Red hitting Castle Age first. Immediately, Ark of the Covenant gets lowered into the monastery. Immediately. Same exact game plan here for our blue Japanese. So, stage 1 of the game is over. Light cav being researched for our Japanese as well. So he's going to have a bit of an advantage over the scout cavalry of the Mongols. Although, remember, these scout cavalry do come with extra line of sight. +2 line of sight. Look at that line of sight. Not that these guys have terrible line of sight. I think I've said line of sight like 9 times. In the event, our Japanese first blood goes to him. Sitaux with the Rambo award this game. Let's see if he can manage to get this other spearman as well. Does take minimal damage. Surprising there, minimal damage. Get the relic closest to your base, says DauT, deletes his own wall to get that. No way that Sitaux can contest this. And here we go. Stage 1 is over. Stage 2 is firmly underway. Monks, and more monks is the game plan. 2 apiece for each. More spearmen, more scouts, more light cav. Now, one thing to remember, never, ever underestimate the agility of this unit. You can surround your priest with as many calves as you want, light or scout, but take a look. Look at this. All these guys need. Take a look at the +10 attack against the monk. Your monk is never safe. That's why you need spearmen here. The monk dies. Literally, a love tap, and the monk dies. Another monk for our... Oh, no. Our Mongol losing 2 monks in exchange for literally nothing here. 4 kills to 2 for our Japanese. Oh, but looks like a bit of retaliation happened off screen here. DauT managing to get a monk of Sitaux. Sitaux, though, currently sitting on 1 live monk. DauT only training monks at the moment. Army supplies identical. Villager population identical. 3rd town center going up for our Japanese. Our Mongol still on just the 1. Is he banking stone for a castle? Is he doing something? What is DauT doing with his stone? Right as I say that, immediately builds a 2nd town center. But yeah, as I mentioned, you guys just saw exactly how much you have to be careful out on the map, how much care and how gentle you have to be with this 1 unit that is rushing. The funny thing is, now I've gone over my opinion of the meta of this a standard closed off map like Arena, Fortress, etc. We're firmly in stage 2 where they're fighting over relics. The funny thing is, generally, these games don't last very long. I mean, we've seen Arabia games. Oh, this monk is definitely going to die, right? Oh, I'm surprised DauT is being that hesitant. I guess he wanted to convert the spearmen first to ensure that these light cav don't actually die to the 2 spearmen that were there. But as I was saying before, I interrupted myself about 19 times. The funny thing is about fighting over all these relics, it is incredibly gold intensive. It is incredibly micro intensive. It is incredibly resource generally intensive. I mean, these guys aren't free. These guys cost 80 food each. And yet the games never actually last that long. We'll see at the end. We'll check the economics and see how much relic gold these players had and how much they've accumulated with the relics that they're fighting over. But every monk, every scout, even every spearman, to be honest, is a resource spent that in a game, in a map that generally the games last about 40 to 50 minutes. I don't necessarily know why they fight over these relics. But that being said, I also don't know why the players never get murder holes. So, you know, I guess joke's on me. This is what I'm talking about. I'm going to rewind. I hate rewinding in the middle of the game. But look at this. You've got Blue's cavalry coming in, outnumbered literally 3 to 1. And yet they still manage to find a gap and get the monk. You can never underestimate the agility of light cav, of scout cav. That is an incredibly important lesson to learn when you're fighting over relics and the monks just move so slow. The light cav just moves so fast. You need multiple monks. You need a lot of monks out on the field. DauT, believing that, has already gathered 3 relics. We'll get the 4th as well. At the moment, though, no monks. Okay, 2 monks heading out to the relic to the east. And now the light cav are free to roam eastward. Nothing on the map for Blue, by the way. This is a very optimistic, let's put it like this, monk here. To think that at this stage of the game, having seen that all the white dots on the map have disappeared, to send 1 monk out. Okay, maybe even 2. I hope we get to see a big old clash, but I suspect by the time these red monks get this relic, red is going to have absconded entirely. No, maybe not. Maybe Blue will see it. Make an issue of it. Absolutely not. Cannot. There's nothing he can do here. A monk behind this. Converting spearmen. Oh, I spoke too soon. Sitaux with the dodge, but look at this. Loses a monk of his own. Loses 2 light cav, 3 spearmen. Was that really worth it? We're 24 minutes into the game. Let's see how long the game lasts. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it worth it to fight over these relics to such a ferocious degree where you're losing hundreds, if not over 1,000 resources in total to fight over this artifact in a game that may not last that long? But in any event, let's get back to the actual game in front of us. 5 town centers for our Mongol. Our Japanese still just on the 3. Now getting his market up. Kill count, identical. DauT leading with 1 extra kill. Neither player killing any villagers. Oh no, why did he traffic jam here? Traffic jam. Sitaux, though, has to back away. There's no way he can handle this, although reinforcements from the left. And look at this. Look how quickly they dodge. They don't even need to be afraid of the spearmen, to be honest. If the goal is to sacrifice these light cav, you are sacrifice. Oh, but maybe not. Take a look at their HP. I just noticed. This is why he didn't want to engage. Literally 1 poke from any spearman on any of these units, and they die except for this one. This one, I think, will take 2 pokes. So after all of that, stage 2 of the game is right now over. All 5 relics have been accounted for. Our Japanese heading up to Imperial light years ahead of our Mongol. Is that why he didn't contest the relics so fiercely? Is that why he didn't invest all his gold in monks like DauT? Take a look at DauT's resources. Good amount of gold. Not enough to go up to Imperial, but good amount. Still 1,900 food. Not 1,900, 1,000 or 900, depending on when that sentence started and ended. Away from going up to Imperial. So Sitaux is going to have a pretty good advantage here. We'll see what he decides to do with it. We know what he is going to decide to do with it. He's got 8 villagers on stone, 460, just needs 200 more. Doesn't really need to mine it, to be honest. Has that market up. He is housed, though, at 90. That might be a problem for him. Needs to start getting these structures up. And now our Mongol sees the move out, covering the hole with a house and a pine tree. Like putting a band-aid on a knife wound, I think. Not exactly a strong structure, but DauT's going to use his monks to try to shoo away these villagers. Try to make construction here very difficult for Sitaux. I'm not sure why Sitaux only brought, how many is this? 6 villagers. Not sure that's really was the proper amount, but we'll see. 1 villager does get converted. 2 monks die. But now Sitaux might be in a bit of trouble here. Red's army outnumbers Blue's. Villagers being pulled off the production line. Okay, never mind. Reinforcements streaming in. Villagers attacking. Will this castle go up? It is at 60% at the moment. What is our red Mongol building? Archery ranges are the order of the day. And he is now also heading up to Imperial. But literally 2.5 to 3 minutes behind his opponent. Sitaux saying, you know what? Take the relics. I don't care. I'm just going to hop my butt up to Imperial. I'm going to build a castle. I'm going to DauT by building this castle. We're going to see a treb, right? Okay. One thing you can bank on, or rather 2 things you can bank on in a pro game like this. Number 1, they will never get murder holes. And number 2, the second they hit Imperial, if they've got any kind of momentum or advantage, the first thing they build from their castle is a treb. That you can take to the bank. A tower going up for our Japanese. Let's see if he gets Yasama, which will add a few more arrows to it, making it very annoying to deal with. And what the hell does that have to respond to this? He's building skirmishers in the face of a tower, a castle, a treb, and some crossbows. Skirmishers not bad, obviously, against the crossbows. More villagers being pulled off, but it looks like they're going to mine some gold. 10 of them. Scouts, light cav, make it into the back of DauT's army. Catch wind that he is going skirmisher. He must be so happy right now, seeing that his opponent is going skirmisher. He's got a treb, a castle, and a tower. Not a single thing skirmishers can do to contest this right now. Spearmen, crossbows, obviously a different story. Okay, all players are now in Imperial, and by all, I mean both. Bodkin, chemistry, conscription. He wants to produce archer units, and he wants to produce them fast, and this may be why Sitaux didn't contest the relics. Did he see the location of the monastery with one of his scouts? Remember, his scouts were here before. Did he know he was going to do this? Now he's dropping a second castle. DauT really getting doubted here by Sitaux, who himself is going up to elite skirmisher. The only issue I have with Sitaux's push right now is that there's no longevity to it. He needs to get critical damage done in the next, I would say, minute to 2 minutes. Okay, cancels his castle. Builds it in a bit more of a secure location, let's say. Secure with an asterisk. Still in the front-facing position. Does lose a Treb, but now that his opponent is an Imperial, and now that he has no infrastructure here, and now take a look at the minimap. Do you see any blue dots moving forward? A single skirmisher? Now that he's not reinforcing his army, he has a clock on this. There is a clock on this attack. Wolf, wolf, wolf. Bites the dust. Ugh. More needless kills here. Let's zoom out, see this entire theater of war. And this is what I was talking about. Take a look at the army supplies. 19 for our Japanese, who was putting on so much aggression, so much pressure. Now 16, literally half that of his opponent. Now, let's be honest. DauT's entire army supply here is in skirmishers. Villagers trying to finish the castle should be able to finish the castle. Mangonel, not even bothering to upgrade it to anything else, but just a simple Mangonel will be enough to shoo away these skirmishers. No more gold income, by the way, for DauT. These relics still have not been picked up. If this was a Mr. Yo game, you best believe there would be a few monks here from him tiefing, pinching the relics. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm always saying tiefing. I always mean to say pinching. So thank you. I forget your name, but somebody in the comments did use the word pinching, which reminded me. And this is my issue with building a castle right next to the wood line. There's no room to put your Treb. Now your castle is being shelled down. You might as well put your Trebs here in the middle. Has our Japanese seen this mining colony? No, he has not. No, he has not. DauT defensive castle going up for him as well. Let's zoom out a little bit. Army supply, Sitaux still at half. Still very few reinforcements streaming across the map. DauT rushed his butt to castle to get monks out to get the relics. Sitaux rushed his butt up to Imperial. Both players, because of the rushing, are paying for it. Their resources are garbage. Look at the wood count of our Japanese, who's trying to go archer units, ranged units against the Mongols. You know what ranged units cost? They cost wood. And he's got 7 wood. Not 700, not 7,000, not even 17. 7 wood. That being said, our Mongols out of food. 200 food. Let's see who takes the better trades here. 2 castles down for our Mongol. And like I said, I thought there would be a clock, a timer, a midnight strike where the Japanese military carriage became a Japanese military pumpkin. And now we've got a battle of skirmishers. Flaming arrows flying everywhere. I love the use of these mangonels. What are these Trebs attacking, by the way? Oh, they're attacking other Trebs. Okay, so we've got a Treb war. We've got a skirmisher war. At the same time, our Japanese is being sideswiped by a few of these light cav. No attack upgrades. Very few armor upgrades. What the hell is this? The balls on DauT. I said if Mr. Yo was doing something here, man, is DauT showing us a pair of cojones. Tiefing the gold. Pinching the gold right outside his opponent's base. I mean, he's at 180 supply. This is only 6 villagers. If he loses them, not the end of the world. He is absolutely wrecking Sitaux's army right now. Take a look at army supply. Villager supply identical. 133 for our Mongol, 130 for our Japanese. But take a look at army supply. Mangudai are out as well. 11 of them. Where are you? Hello. Strongest unit of the army. Hanging out by a mill, drinking some fresh water as it passes by that wheel. I guess he wants to clear out the skirmishers before he invests those Mangudai in any kind of attack. Sitaux getting wind of the side swipe, even though he hasn't seen the castle, has seen the stables, knows he's got to defend here, knows he's got to put up some kind of flank protection. Samurais are out too. Man, this game just went pure bonkers on me. This game just went pure bonkers on us. So lumberjacks in the weirdest location possible. I want to see this samurai stop so we can watch that animation. Look at him. Oh, look at them just checking their swords. Oh, I love it. I can watch this all day. I don't know if you can, so I'm going to stop. 3 castles have been cleared out. Our Mongol is on a tear. Supply maxed out at 200. Hussars Thumb ring. Oh my god, remember their hussars come with extra HP. No attack upgrades on them though. Elite samurai? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is that the right move here for Sitaux? I'm not too sure. Especially not with only 5, 6, 7, 8 samurais and a huge Mongol army bearing down on you. Maybe Yasima towers, maybe castles, maybe more skirmishers. At this point, our Japanese player must be in defensive desperation mode. He's getting castles up inside his original settlement. Finally has a few more numbers up in terms of army supply, 50 to 66. Does have the villager lead. Let's take a look at upgrades, by the way. Maxed out elite skirmishers for our Japanese. Maxed out elite skirmishers for our Mongol. Though remember, as the Mongols, they don't get ring archer armor. I think that's the last one, right? There's padded, there's leather, and then there's ring. Let me know if I'm wrong. There's a distinct possibility that I might be wrong. Oh, how many javelins were needed to take down that Tom Cruise samurai? Oh, Monk, where are you going, buddy? Okay, by the way, behind all this, DauT has managed to reclaim all 5 relics, so the gold count is still coming, still growing. Raiding with samurais. Not something I would have expected to see here, but the problem is hussars are out. Samurai should be able to deflect, but the samurai are taking a whole bunch of damage from these skirmishers. And even though the skirmishers aren't killing the samurai, take a look at their HP. They are tickling away at it. And they are making it easier for these hussars to engage. Terrible, terrible placement for the army here for Sitaux. The skirmishers die immediately to the Mongol hussars. And now the Mangudai are here. Oh, fully upgraded Mangudai elite. Look at their firing. Should be 1.4. That is just ridiculous. But the samurai, man, are they tanky. But they're focusing on the wrong unit. Your bonuses against other unique units. No more samurais in the center of the map. Outpost, very high value target. Take away the vision of your opponent. The samurais are moving back. No more raiding for you. Treb moving forward. Looks like iron casting. Arson. Arson? Right now? Okay. Sitaux is very optimistic here, thinking that his infantry can make it anywhere close to here right now with his massive body of Mangudai. How many? Only 24 skirmishers here, but the Mangudai can't be taking these trades. These are very bad trades for the Mangudai. But does DauT care? He is supply capped. He is building 10 more Mangudai. He's at 35. He's building more hussars. He's got 5 trebs. This castle is going to fall to the top left of our screen. And with that castle, oh man, I think Sitaux realizes there's just nothing he can do at the moment. Once this castle falls, the entire base is donezo. And like I said earlier on in the game, when he places castle here, I think instead of building another castle or another 2 castles, he would have done well to maybe fill up the center with some infrastructure. But Matt, okay, first of all, like I said, game's 40 to 50 minutes long. Let's see how. Okay, 3,000 gold. I guess with all 5 relics, 3,000 gold here. At the end of the day, the gold count, even with 0 relics, Sitaux didn't really lag that far behind. I mean, 1,700 gold in a 50-minute game is not the end of the world. A lot more wood, a lot more food. But Sitaux does manage to get, what is this, about 2 extra castles worth of stone. So like I said, both players rushing, but rushing in different directions. DauT rushing to get those relics earlier on. Sitaux rushing to get up to Imperial. Still plenty of gold out on the map over here, over here. I thought I saw some over here, but no. And ultimately, I think Sitaux, just without reinforcing his center position, at one point we saw it was 1 skirmisher reinforcing. And because of that, I don't want to say I called it. I hate that kind of predictive language, but I suspected that there was a timer on his attack. And especially when your opponent has all 5 relics, especially when you've done minimal damage. I mean, he got rid of 1 town center, and that's basically all he could do. Take a look at the Mongols' production facilities. 5 archery ranges, 13 stables, 47 villagers on food. I mean, 13 stables, 47 villagers, not the best allocation for food, but he doesn't need it. He's got 33 mega die, elite, fully upgraded. My goodness, what the hell can Sitaux do here? And just because both players rushed, they were both disadvantaged once they hit Imperial. Sitaux, we saw, had no wood. I mean, overcompensated for it now with more villagers than his opponent. Let's actually see the allocation right before he died. One of the interesting things about Capture Age, the player who loses, their villager allocation just disappears. So you have to rewind a split second. So he's got 45 on wood, 48 on food. But take a look. Now he's got no food. A lot of villagers on gold. Still a decent amount of gold. Still ahead in villager supply. But again, once this castle goes down, none of these numbers matter. None of these matter. Because take a look. Where is his production? 8 archery ranges, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are about to go down to these 5 trebs. This isn't 1 treb. This isn't 2 trebs that he can continue repairing this castle. This is 5 trebs. And even though on Arena there's generally no high ground, low ground, it's generally just one flat plateau, one flat steppe, piece of land, whatever you want to call it, arid, dry land. 5 trebs is very going to be very hard to deal with, especially when you've got only 39 stone, especially when your castle's already at a quarter of its HP. You've lost a huge chunk of your army. Was not able to transition out of crossbows, was our Japanese. Remember, they do still have arbalests, so he could have upgraded them to arbalests, but instead going for skirmishers. Absolutely loved the move here out of Sitaux to push down the middle. Did a good amount of damage. Looked very scary for DauT for a moment, didn't it? 3 castles on the perimeter, trebs, towers, skirmishers. Actually, no skirmishers, crossbows at the time. But again, there was just no follow-up. So DauT could keep sending 5 skirmishers, 10 skirmishers. He could gun down 1 treb. He could gun down a few crossbows, the spearmen that died here. Little by little, he could pick apart at DauT's army, and rather at Sitaux's army, and Sitaux just didn't reinforce. He had no wood. I think at the time he had something like 150 wood, and so he rushed his butt up to get here. Fantastic, but just didn't have the economy behind it, I don't think. And oh god, now he's being raided over here. He's being raided over here. So this is what, 11 defunct villagers. This is 17 defunct villagers. By the way, I missed this gold pile when we were reviewing the gold piles that are out on the map. So Sitaux here has access to a lot of gold. What he doesn't have is production facilities because he just didn't build them. And like I said, would have loved to see it through here, through the center here, but just never had the wood count that he really needed to plop down structures and build an army. It kind of seems like, let me know if you think if you agree, disagree. It kind of seems like it was one or the other. And he was just streaming individual units across the map, not really in any kind of big flood that you would want to see. I think maybe he got a little too comfortable seeing all 5 relics being evicted out of the monastery. Maybe? Is that possible, that he felt he had a bit more time than he did? But behind this, DauT held firm, even though he was doubted by Sitaux with 1, 2, 3 castles, multiple trebs, multiple units. He just held the line calmly, killed a unit here, a few units there, and ultimately was able to just explode out of his base with this unit. Oh my god, what an absolute game killer, game ender, and insanely powerful unit, backed up by no fewer than 5 trebuchets. And so now that this castle is going to fall, the center of the Japanese base is open, and unlike Kublai Khan, who was unable to invade and penetrate the Japanese mainland, I think it was Kublai Khan, right? The kamikaze, the divine wind, I think it was him. And unlike him, or if it's somebody else, unlike whoever it was, DauT here managing with the Mongol horde to penetrate, to bust through the attempted contain, and then just look at him, look at his reinforce, just streaming units all the live long day. Something Sitaux, I think, had he done 20 minutes or so ago, would have probably won the game. But in any event, what a fun fun game. Both players showcasing their unique units, always super fun. And a lightning fast archer versus a lightning fast infantryman. Man, and we got to see the samurais whipping their katanas out and looking at them, inspecting them, making sure they're ready to draw as much Mongol blood as possible. DauT takes the big W, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.